just a little shout out to my three favorites and those who kind of inspired me to start this. FloridaWhisperer, OmniWhisper, and GentleWhispering. They're just wonderful to listen to, and really, that would be the phone. Anyway, they've just been really, really wonderful and inspiring. So, yeah. And I thought today, why not since I'm on for winter holiday, why not start with a little reading? I thought I could do A Christmas Carol. And just a note, this is in the public domain, it's online. It's Dickens. I don't really think that there's any copyright issues, so, yeah, and, I will not be starting from the beginning. I'll give you guys a little background just in case you haven't read the story, and I also have to practice my British accent for my Voice and Dialect class. I'm majoring in theater, so in acting, so there's a lot of ways that I have to train myself that I'm working on right now, and one of them is using my voice and practicing dialects and accents and things like that, and I thought I could practice just with this story. So, I'm starting with stave 2, the first of 3 spirits, and in stave 1, just Marley's ghost. The staves are pretty much just another word for chapters. In stave 1, Scrooge is characterized as more of a prickly person to be around, doesn't like Christmas, doesn't like anything festive, anything that warrants spending money. He's very, very greedy, kind of a kind of guy. He's got a nephew named Freddie who's, cheery and lovely and wants to spend Christmas with him anyway. And Scrooge, is a Scrooge. And then he barely lets off his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who has a relatively large family. Relatively large family. Not a very good salary. We'll find out about Tiny Tim later. But until then, Marley's ghost, his old business partner, visits him in the night on Christmas Eve, and he's chained. He's got these supernatural chains all over him. It says he's chained to his fate and that he's unable to help all those who need it, and he's forever doomed to see those and be unable to help those who are who he cheated in life. So he's kind of cursed with that anguish and that guilt for all eternity. And basically comes to Scrooge saying, "You have a chance for salvation. Use it." And says that he'll be visited by 3 ghosts. One at the first hour, one at the second, one at the third, I think. I don't know. But the first one is supposed to be at 1 in the morning. So, which is the Ghost of Christmas Past. So, I guess I'll start. So, here we go. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Stave 2, the first of 3 spirits. When Scrooge awoke, it was so dark that, looking out of bed, he could scarcely distinguish the transparent window from the opaque walls of his chamber. He was endeavouring to pierce the darkness with his ferret eyes when the chimes of a neighbouring church struck the 4 quarters. So he listened for the hour. To his great astonishment, the heavy bell went on from 6 to 7, and from 7 to 8, and regularly up to 12, then stopped. 12. It was past 2 when he went to bed. The clock was wrong. An icicle must have gotten into the works. 12. He touched touched the spring of his repeater to correct this most preposterous clock. Its rapid little pulse beat 12, and stopped. "Why, it isn't possible," said Scrooge, "that I can have slept through a whole day and far into another night. It isn't possible that anything has happened to the sun, and this is 12 at noon." The idea being an alarming one, he scrambled out of bed and groped his way to the window. He was obliged to rub off the frost with the sleeve of his dressing gown before he could see anything. I could see very little then. All he could make out was that it was still very foggy and extremely cold, and that there was no noise of people running to and fro and making a great stir, as there unquestionably would have been if night had beaten off bright day and taken possession of the world. This was a great relief, because 3 days after sight of this first of exchange paid to Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, or his order, and so forth, would have become a mere United States security if there were no days to count upon. Scrooge went to bed again, and thought and thought and thought it over and over and over, and could make nothing of it. The more he thought, the more perplexed he was, and the more he endeavoured not to think, the more he thought. Marley's ghost bothered him exceedingly. Every time he resolved within himself, out of mature inquiry, that it was all a dream, his mind flew back again, like a strong spring released to its first position, and presented the same problem to be walked all through. Was it a dream or not? Scrooge lay in this state until the chimes had gone 3/4 more, when he remembered, on a sudden, that the ghost had warned him of a visitation when the bell tolled 1. He resolved to lie awake until the hour was past, and, considering that he could no more go to sleep than go to heaven, this was perhaps the wisest resolution in his power. The quarter was so long that he was more than once convinced that he must have sunk into a doze unconsciously and missed the clock. At length it broke upon his listening ear. Ding, dong. 1/4 past, said Scrooge, counting. Ding, dong. 1/2 past, said Scrooge. Ding, dong. 1/4 to it, said Scrooge. Ding, dong. The hour itself, said Scrooge triumphantly, and nothing else. He spoke before the hour bell sounded, which it now did, with a deep, dull, hollow, melancholy 1. Light flashed up in the room upon the instant, and the curtains of his bed were drawn. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, I tell you, by a hand. Not the curtains at his feet, nor the curtains at his back, but those to which his face was addressed. The curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge, starting up into a half-recumbent attitude, found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them, as close to it as I am now to you, and I am standing in the spirit at your elbow. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man, viewed through some supernatural medium, which gave him the appearance of having receded from the view, being diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. The arms were very long and muscular, the hands the same, as if its hold were of uncommon strength. Its legs and feet, most delicately formed, were, like those upper members, bare. It wore a tunic of the purest white, and round its waist was bound a lustrous belt, the sheen of which was beautiful. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, and, in singular contradiction of that wintry emblem, had its dress trimmed with summer flowers. But the strangest thing about it was, that from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear jet of light, by which all this was visible, and which was doubtless the occasion of its using, in its duller moments, a great extinguisher for a cap, which it now held under its arm. Even this, though, when Scrooge looked at it with increasing legs without a head, now a head without a body, of which dissolving parts no outline would be visible in the dense gloom wherein they melted away. And the very wonder of this, it would be itself again, distinct and clear as ever. Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold to me? Asked Scrooge. I am. The voice was